NuMediaTV in London. Live stream with confidence. On this channel, we tell stories through digital content in areas of politics, bad leadership, and governance throughout Africa and the rest of the world. Your feedback and experience is very important to us. It helps us build a more robust community now than ever. If this is your first time on our channels, please don't forget to smash the like button and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let's get started.
This is NuMediaTV in London. This is NuMediaTV in London. TV in London.
Warning! The following program contains graphics and images that some people may find disturbing and traumatizing. Some of the violent content may be too intense for some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. NuMediaTV.
Fair Use Act Disclaimer. Fair Use Copyright Disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as nonprofit, criticism, news reporting, comment, teaching, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Content disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this media or comments on this channel are those of the speakers or authors, and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters. Due to the social nature of this broadcasting channel, videos and audios may contain content copyrighted by another entity or person. This channel's owner claims no copyright to said content. The broadcaster of this channel cannot be held accountable to the copyrighted content. The broadcaster of this channel is a messenger and sharer of information and strives to verify the accuracy of such information, but cannot warrant the accuracy of copyrights or completeness of the information on this channel.
On this social media network, we aim to address Nigeria's socio-cultural and political problems in areas of national identity, conflict, poverty, endemic corruption, inequality, nepotism, terrorism, agitation, high level of child mortality, unemployment, poor health and education, collapsed in infrastructure, cultism, ritual killings, herdsmen crisis, tribalism and home violence.
As a precaution, this channel would also like to state unequivocally that we have all rights to use in all of our media broadcasts over 700 royalty-free tunes. These entire package was purchased and delivered by email. Tuesday, January 12, 2021 at 17:17 hours in London from soundsbest.com and a paid subscription and program from Movavi Video Editor.
NuMediaTV. Beyond the headlines. News in its purest form. Live stream with confidence. Contact us on +44 208 180 0433. Voice over Internet Protocol. WhatsApp +44 7467 634 822. The live stream will start soon. Please like, subscribe, share and to follow us on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter.
Yes, good evening, and you are all welcome. Good evening, guys. I sincerely hope that I meet each and every one of you well, in top form, and in high spirit. Yes, I'm your host once again, your favorite guy here in London, Frank Bello, the terrible man. Terrible. Torn in the flesh for the powers that be. In location 9. Don't forget, I decoded Nigeria for each and every one of you. Yes, today's Monday, the 18th day of the 9th month of September 2023, and by the console right in front of me, the time currently in London that this live stream is coming through to your screen all over the whole world. It's 21:44. I salute you and I welcome you onto the live stream tonight. Yeah, I was meant to come live on Friday, and then I shifted it onto Saturday. Then something else came up and I wasn't able to get to you guys, but that notwithstanding, I've been up and about all day today, attending to many other pressing issues such as family and everything. But I'm now back at home, and I promised myself that, like it or not, I have to come live. And when Frank is live, it is not me talking. It is not me. What are we going to talk about today? I'm pretty sure many of you are anxiously waiting for me to come and talk about many of those issues. Folake Alawiye, Olagunju Akim, Alhaji Aremu Osholade Alakufo Baba Ibadan, Ife Ikem Nwobodo, and engineer Gbadebo Balogun. I'm pretty sure that others will join us. If you don't comment, I can only see a handful of you, but I can only recognize your presence when you comment. Olasukumi Lawal, good evening. What do we want to talk about today? We want to talk about hashtag Yoruba Obas. We want to talk about hashtag Yoruba Obas. Hashtag Obasanjo. Hashtag Yoruba at Crossroads 2023. If you're joining us for the first time, follow us from whichever of the pages you feel you're comfortable with. We're back on YouTube. Yeah, I lifted everything from YouTube, and I'm back on YouTube. Follow us, like the page, and then share it, because that information, the quality and the level of information coming out from this end of the dispatch box to all of you is pure and undiluted, pure and simple, undiluted. Anibolaji, good evening. Hashtag Yoruba Obas. Hashtag Obasanjo. Hashtag Yorubas at Crossroads 2023. Did you all remember before the elections, I streamed and I said the Yorubas are at crossroads? You remember? Did you also realize that I made everything known, some of the information that you guys were not really privileged to know. Some of them, I reveal them to you. Spiritual stuff, I've delved into spiritual occupation with some of you. But tonight, I want to focus more on that crazy dude called Olusegun Obasanjo. See, it's crazy. Obasanjo is a crazy dude. And I beg to be corrected, because a lot of information in my possession, many of you don't know. Please share the stream. It's going to be hot. It's going to be rugged. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ná Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ ní pẹ̀tẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀. Many of you know exactly what is going on. But before we go into the nitty-gritty of what we have to do, let me quickly run you through some stuff that maybe other people are not aware of. Let me run you through some of them. There's a lot going on. Akeredolu, my governor in Ondo State, yes, it seems the same problem that happened during Pa Adekunle Ajashin and Omobori Owo is about to resurface in Ondo State. And many of you guys that still strongly believed that Banji Akitoye is your savior in Yoruba land for Yoruba nation. I told you people that Banji Akitoye ó lè jẹ́ bàbá titi yín o. Yes, bàbá yín nínú Yoruba nation. Banji Akitoye, I made it known emphatically to you guys that Banji Akitoye was and is still a politician. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún yín, Yoruba nation wasn't meant to be a one-man show. Like me, hate me. That's your fucking problem. That's your headache. For me, Frank Olufela Oluseyi Olusegun Alani Omobelo, I will stick my guns to the truth. I don't care what anybody else is going to say anything. Because if I should die tomorrow, èmi nìkan ló máa kù níwájú Baba God. You will not go down in the grave with me. It is just me and God. Wọ́n fi gbogbo yín nínú Yoruba nation, wọ́n fi yín pa owó. It seems the same thing that happened tí Professor Banji Akitoye tó fi dá Ondo State rú. I told some of you. My father nearly got killed because they killed two of his best friends that were inside Akure inner circle. The people inside Akure inner circle are not just ordinary people. Banji Akintoye prompted the death of Chief Agbayewa. Banji Akintoye prompted the death of Chief Fagbamigbe. The mob, I was in Akure, and tó bá ní kò sí ogun. That was the very first time I believed there is ogun ní ilẹ̀ Yoruba. If not for my great uncle, Uncle Dedeke, Baba Olomofe, that came out. Láti sọ fún pé tó ń bá bí aláya bàbá ẹ̀ tó ń bá bire kan lọ sílé ẹ̀gbọ́n. That was when the mob stopped. Sherry, Kini, what is the difference between Banji Akintoye and Obasanjo? Deceivers. Bloody liars. Kí Banji Akintoye kó jáde fún mi. I don't care. Ṣé mo kí à ń pa Banji Akintoye ni? And as a matter of fact, my hands are off from your hopeless and ridiculous agitation. Rather than that, I will campaign vigorously now for them to return Nigeria back to the 1963 regional formation. Let us keep Nigeria. The sects that are campaigning for a Yoruba nation, I doubt it. Narada Franklin, Okikiola Ade, good evening. Obasanjo, OBJ. Many of you know exactly what is going on. Yes, Alozie Friday. Good afternoon to you. You are watching the live stream on YouTube and hopefully from the United States, because you said afternoon. Aniofik, good evening. Please share the stream as you guys are joining us on this thought-provoking live stream. You see, I was with someone a day before that event in Oyo State. Not knowing that such an event will even happen. If there is any particular head of government in Nigeria that I hate so passionately with all the fibers in my body, that head of state is Obasanjo. Mo hate man so passionately. And I'm not going to lie to anyone. Because Obasanjo, like I always say, and I will continue to insist on the fact that Obasanjo is the bane of Nigeria's problem. Yete Queen, good evening. You see? Let me start. Obasanjo, a vindictive womanizer. Yes. That is my personal description of Olusegun Obasanjo. Vindictive womanizer. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ first wife ẹ̀, Mama Yabo. Òun ló describe ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Pé ẹ̀ńtẹ̀ ń wò yẹn, ẹranko ni, vindictive womanizer. This same Obasanjo, and I will continue to say it, and I want Obasanjo to even come out láti debunk ẹ̀ publicly pé òun kan lòun fún Ibrahim Babangida IBB the military order regarding June 12 annulment. You see, for me, June 12 annulment is not going to go away. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. I'm going to go into it. Live stream PNG files. Look at this. MKO OBJ. Secondary school days. People should go and ask Obasanjo, why did Obasanjo hated MKO in such a way that Obasanjo, a vindictive womanizer, then gave a military order to Ibrahim Babangida to annul that election in 1993, that Babangida should not hand over to a womanizer. Let me tell you. The same Obasanjo in 1999, that same OBJ, don't forget, decimated the Yoruba land by handing power over to a grade 2 teacher, Shehu Shagari. 1979. The same Obasanjo destroyed Nigeria in terms of our foreign relations with the United Kingdom. I'm not too sure whether some of you were born at the time, but as at that time, the news of those days that are now history today were being unfolded in my own korokoro eyes, and for the first time in my own life, I voted for the first time in 1979. That same OBJ, kí ni nǹkan tí Yorùbá tó ṣe fún Ọbásanjọ́ tí Ọbásanjọ́ dẹ̀ wá hate Yorùbá so passionately? What have we done to Obasanjo? Kí ni Yorùbá ṣe fún ẹ, OBJ? What have we done to you, Obasanjo, that right now you now continue to ridicule the crown? Isabella Oyinkansola, you're welcome. Now, I am now beginning to question Obasanjo's paternity. Ọmọ àlè ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire ló ń ṣerú nǹkan tí Ọbásanjọ́ ṣe yẹn. Ọmọ ọkọ káàárọ̀ òjíire kò. It is only a bastard Yoruba son. If you are not a bastard, you won't be insulting the Obas in public. The Obas themselves, anyway, they've got a lot of blames too. The Obas. Ibi tí ó yẹ kán máa rí àwọn ọba níbẹ̀, you will see them, they will go there. Ṣé the same Obasanjo, ẹ má gbàgbé, this same OBJ, when was it, when he was president or when he left Aso Rock? He said it emphatically that even when Jesus Christ should come down to Nigeria from heaven to conduct election, Jesus Christ can never conduct a credible election. Why tí ọba ó insult Christianity? Listen, Otutilo is now insulting you that you call yourselves king in Yoruba land. Ká jẹ́ pé wọ́n bí Ọbásanjọ́ dání, why tí òun ò ṣe lo Prophet Muhammad? Ipe even kí Prophet Muhammad wá láti heaven kò lè conduct election, successful election in Nigeria. Why Jesus? Because tó ká jẹ́ pé wọ́n bí Ọbásanjọ́ dání kó gbé ẹnu lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn. Mo jẹ́rìí náà tó. Mo jẹ́rìí àwọn Hausa Fulani man. Wọ́n á sọ, they will tell him, they will put fatwa on him. So if Obasanjo can insult Jesus Christ in Christianity, ojú wo lẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n try láti convert wọn to have the Christian faith? How do you want them to take it? Ó ti insult Jesus Christ. Obasanjo ti insult Jesus Christ now. Ǹjẹ́, did we see any bishops or any reverend or Pastor Adeboye and any one of them in the Christendom to caution Obasanjo that, listen, Mr. Oshiso, never in your life blaspheme about our own Lord Jesus Christ? Did we see any? No. No. Obasanjo, I think it is now becoming clear pé kò ń ṣọmọ Yorùbá, pé Igbo ni bàbá ẹ̀. It is now becoming clear. Kí làwọn ọba yẹn gangan kí ló ń ṣe fún? What have they done to him to warrant such a public humiliation. Ṣé Ọbásanjọ́ ó lè dúró níwájú ọba of Benin láti máa sọ gbogbo rubbish tó ń sọ yẹn? Àbí ẹ lérò pé ọba of Benin máa wà nírú gathering yẹn? Ọbásanjọ́ á dẹ̀ máa command ọba of Benin pé stand up, sit down. I am not surprised. Someone was telling me wípé ńkọ́ òun àti Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ àwọn jíjọ wà nínú business class flight. I think it was from either Abuja to Lagos or Lagos. Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ was heading towards Ekiti. Ẹni tí mò ń sọ yìí inú business class ló wà. Èèyàn kan dẹ̀ wá ńgbà tó gbọ́ pé Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀, Ọọ̀ni tòní ni o, kò ń ṣe Ọọ̀ni àná. ₦100,000 lẹ́ni yẹn fún Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ nínú aircraft. Your current Ọọ̀ni. Now, if I should look into this current trend, okay, wọ́n ní ọba yìí pé méjì láàfin, ìjòyè lè pé mẹ́fà láàfin. Ǹjẹ́ the current Ọọ̀ni himself, ǹjẹ́ Ọọ̀ni Ilé Ifẹ̀, ǹjẹ́ current Ọọ̀ni ó bring dignity to the stool of Ọọ̀ni? Ìyàwó ti di méje lọ́wọ́ Ọọ̀ni. Ọọ̀ni àná ọba Okun Adé Síjú Adé kò ṣe yẹ o. Ọọ̀ni before that one ọba Adésọjí Adérẹ̀mí. Ẹ̀rí kan ṣe gbogbo yẹn o. Ṣé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire ló jẹ́ kí Ọbásanjọ́ máa sọ òkò sí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pera yín ní Adé, ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ pera yín ní igbákejì òrìṣà? Mo sorry. Tó bá yá, as time goes, now local government chairmen will even now tell you Obas to come and prostrate for them. Kẹ́ wá dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún àwọn. I don't believe in that saying that God is using Obasanjo to expose Yoruba Obas. Obasanjo is a lunatic. Obasanjo wanted attention. And it is the bane of the problem of Nigeria. Let me show you this. Ẹni tó ń pariwo, ẹ̀rí pẹ̀lú bàbá náà tiẹ̀ ti wọ́ sẹ́gbẹ́ kan anyway. Look at this. I came up with this. 1904, 1990 to 1904, 2021. The children that were born On that date, 1904-2021, they turned 31 years. When Obasanjo took over in 1999, okay, how old were those children? Born on the 19th of the 4th month of April 1990, they were only 9 years. Nígbà tó Obasanjo gba ipò ààrẹ in 1999. Now, I've used these sums for you. What were the questions people should continue to ask when Obasanjo became head of state, president in 1999? Those children, they were 9 years old. What were the preparations Obasanjo made for those generation of children that would turn 31 in 2021? Obasanjo was never interested in education. Obasanjo was never interested in educating any Nigerian children. Charles McGregor, I am quoting, Charles McGregor was my lecturer at the London College of Printing, and Charles took me in book publishing practice for 2 years. In fact, Charles McGregor was my major supervisor on my project. Then Dr. Bob Thompson. McGregor. When Charles McGregor was the managing director of Evans Publishing in Ibadan, when Obasanjo was in power, as Obasanjo was at the point of leaving power in 1979, Charles McGregor went to Obasanjo at Dodam Barracks to beg Obasanjo to buy Macmillan Publishers, because 1979 Macmillan Publishing was up for sale. You want the reply? Because Charles made this known in one of our book publishing practice, to say Obasanjo said no, that it is not his ambition to educate Nigerian children. Obasanjo, the worst that ever happened to Nigeria. This same Obasanjo, perhaps, if Obasanjo never truncated the initial plans, ṣebí Babangida ló gbé Obasanjo padà. IBB brought Olusegun Obasanjo back to power because gbogbo yanpọnyanrin tó dá sílẹ̀ ní 1993 l'Obasanjo ní ó yá ọ̀gá, come and clean it out. Blueprints dẹ̀ ti wà. You think IBB did not know the problems we had? You guys don't know why I fell in love with Babangida, because Babangida saw everything happening today and he wanted to correct it. Devolution of powers. That the power at the center of government is too powerful. They should devolve power to the states and then the local government. I prepared some stuff for you. Let me bring in this one. Let me bring in this video for you. Let's watch this. OBJ. Before I do that, let me play Obalamidi Adeyemi's video. Kekoko wo ìyàtọ̀. Ìyàtọ̀. Ṣé ká jẹ́ pé Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ Obalamidi Adeyemi ó sì wà ní ilé ayé. Ṣé wọ́n bí Ọbásanjọ́ rẹ̀ kó ní kí Aláàfin dìde. Wọ́n bire. Watch this.
Gba commissioner tó jókòó múlẹ̀ ẹ̀gọ́ Aláàfin wa ṣé kò tó fi sí nẹ́ẹ̀sì kò ní dà fún owó yìí.
Ṣé ń gbọ́?
Ẹ wò mí tí mo dé dìde kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ balẹ̀ nítorí sẹ́tẹ̀ gbà lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀. Ìwọ gómìnà yìí nígbà tèmi tí ń lọ ọkọ̀ tí mo wà ní insurance tí mo ti ń lọ ọkọ̀ ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jáde secondary school òun wáṣẹ́ tó ṣe. 1948.
Obalamidi Adeyemi ọ̀run rẹ̀ o bàbá ṣẹ́rí bí ikú bàbá yèyé bó ṣe lálé gbogbo everybody títí kan gọ́vnà ọba tí àṣẹ wà ní ẹnu ẹ̀ ọba aláṣẹ igbákejì òrìṣà. Yes. When I see such things, I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of my heritage. Ewele. OBJ. Mfedeke Ewele ni o. She can play. Kini. You know what I'm going to do? Let's just quickly let me Mombo. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi let's do this. Yeah, let me big files. No. Boni mo fi video yẹn sí o. Let me check this. Let me check this. No. Okay, it is probably on the. It is probably here. Live show materials. It could be probably here. Sorry about that. I'm looking for it. Okay. Let me give you this. Ekoko Wele, you know. Watch this.
To contest. He wanted the heads of state to ask him to continue. Unfortunately for him, he never knew we had planned a coup under him with bringing the president of Tanzania, with President Thabo Mbeki and President John Kufuor. They said no, they will not allow third term with those presidents, with Americans. They planned it and said no, we will not allow this to happen. And that was exactly what happened.
It's quite.
So he went to bring President Bush. President Bush told him, as long as you don't exceed Nigerian constitution. Even people who are taking credit in the Senate. The person who derailed the third term in the Senate is Ibrahim Mantu and Wabara and Adolphus Wabara. Because he was just removed as Senate president. So we contacted him, made a deal with him, made a deal with Mantu, and we used them to derail the thing. I will not come in details how we derailed it, because it was a full martial plan to derail it that day and kill it. And that's how we killed it.
So His Excellency Socio-Cultural was one of them. Maybe that was one of the reasons you were under attack.
No, that is the major reason why I'm under attack. Because President Obasanjo told me that I will kneel down and suffer for the rest of my life.
You hear that?
That he will deal with me, that he will crumble me. That he told me face to face, that is truth. So I don't care about what he says. Oh my God, I'm still wearing nice suits till tomorrow. I'm still seeing him till tomorrow. The immorality in the man is in Obasanjo, who cannot speak through double pattern. Obasanjo is a shameless man. He's supposed to be one-time president. This is the promise he made.
You see?
I went to Babangida.
I knew about this.
He said it was a lie.
It's not a lie, it's the truth. I was there. There was a deal made.
They want to do the Mandela option.
He said he will do one tenure. Then you, President Babangida, you will continue. This was a deal made. Babangida is alive, Obasanjo is alive.
You see?
If any of them contradict it, we'll go to
You
him.
see? I knew about this.
So it's not a lie, it's the truth. So there was a deal made. I went with Babangida to him. When Babangida informed him that they like him to be the president. They said, how many presidents will you make him be?
Yes.
I'm not interested. He woke up, he was wearing a short knicker, khaki short knicker. He went back.
Don't forget, the same Obasanjo said Babangida should not hand over power to a womanizer.
4 years.
A vindictive womanizer himself.
So we sat him down and we started talking. He said yes, he will do one tenure. I was there. I'm not saying somebody said.
Wow.
So how can he be lying to the nation? On many occasions, I confronted Babangida when he wanted.
I did too.
Babangida said no.
Babangida was supposed to come back in 2007.
That was the reason. And we said, okay, since you cannot do it, let's use Atiku to do it. At the tail end, Atiku said no. He had made up with his boss. So we are stranded. We could have used one governor to remove him. But
you mean impeachment?
Not impeachment. No, 2003 election. Obasanjo was gone.
Okay, was gone. Okay. Hey, because we learned that he knelt down and begged Atiku in his bedroom.
He also knelt down and begged me.
Where, sir?
In my bedroom. He came to the governor's lodge in Sokoro. He came middle of the night. He came straight to my bedroom because he's commander-in-chief. As commander-in-chief, the ADCs and security men have no right. They just knock on my bedroom. I opened. It was him. He knelt down and begged me. And after that, he won. I went to greet him. He said, I will suffer throughout my life for what I made to him. So this is the kind of man you are talking about. Obasanjo is an animal. He's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be caged where chimpanzees are in zoo.
Sir, why is there no petition before the FCC?
Who told you? There are 7 petitions. Go and ask Magu. I'm not a friend of Magu. Go and ask Magu. If you have no, there are many petitions against Obasanjo, 16 billion and other money he stole.
That question I posed to Babangida.
Is owner of so many companies you are seeing today.
That question of 16 billion, I posed it to IBB, and that was, listen. The question of 16 billion US dollars that went down the drain to fix electricity in Nigeria, I posed to Babangida when Babangida clocked 70. I wasn't meant to be in that press conference, but they earmarked a section where I can gain access to IBB via the Chief of Staff, Colonel Hassan Biu, and next to Colonel Biu's office is Mohammed's office, and that particular alleyway, I can just knock and enter IBB's office. Nobody uses that. it is him. So as Babangida was going into the conference room that was next door to the chief of staff, Babangida tapped me and then say, join your colleagues at the press conference. I was still arguing with IBB that I wasn't a member of the Niger State Nigerian Union of Journalists, the chapter in Niger State. That was the first time I realized I was in a military terrain. And then Colonel Bew then shouted. Colonel Bew was behind IBB. I remembered the picture very well. And Colonel Bew then said, Frank, it is an order. I joined. You see, at the press conference, you see, I want to be Nigerian journalists. They continue to ask Babangida the same question they've been asking him since he stepped aside. And I think my last question, to which I provoked Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, was based on the 16 billion US dollars Obasanjo wasted on electricity in Nigeria. And guess what? Because I prompted IBB, I provoked Babangida into action. And let me tell you, I know how to provoke him. Babangida exploded and said, Frank, this was how Babangida started, because I've got everything on tape. Babangida said, Frank, I will be frank with you. Then I said, go on. That was when Babangida made everyone at that press conference realize that the highest he sold the Nigerian crude oil was $11. Crude, the sale of crude oil was between $10 and $11. But many times, Babangida sold your crude oil for $10. He completed the longest bridge over water and gave Lagosians that present in Africa, the longest bridge over water. Babangida single-handedly built the new Federal Capital Territory. And the new Federal Capital Territory was mimic after Milton Keynes in the UK. I know the story. If you have been to Milton Keynes, and if you go to Abuja, you will see a replica of Milton Keynes in the UK. And this was the dream he had when he was in power. When he came on his official visit with his wife, Miriam, and he visited Milton Keynes, Babangida was captivated, mesmerized with Milton Keynes. And on the spot, he made it known that the new Federal Capital Territory in Abuja will mimic Milton Keynes. He delivered. On $10, he was selling your crude oil. $10 Babangida used in building a new Federal Capital Territory from scratch to finish. Let's listen to this conversation.
Right? The U.S. intelligence, the North American intelligence agencies don't respect it. The European Union don't respect it. His power is only in the AU. They don't respect him because they know he's a thief.
So, let me ask you, where did you get the courage from? Because you see,
it's not courage. I say what other people fail to say.
A lot of people will have been wasted. where did you get that courage to say the truth?
Because listen, I have overcome death.
Okay.
I have no fear of dying. I can die tomorrow, I can die today. So all those fears out of me. I'm not even afraid of who will kill me and who will not kill me.
You are called to have breakfast with Obasanjo now. Will you or not to eat the same food? And if you cook the food and give you, will you eat it, sir?
Yes, I will eat it.
But no, if Obasanjo...
I told you I have overgrown fear of death.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I was in a bad...
Obasanjo, the bane, the problem. Obasanjo is the problem of Nigeria. You see, sometimes I wonder, sometimes, Rashid Atolagbearo, welcome to the stream. Sometimes I wonder why Babangida respected his boss Obasanjo so much. It is a military stuff to which I came to realize that they pass orders and subordinates more. If like Babangida, our superior see IBB and the authentic Muhammadu Buhari, not the fake dodgy latex one, the fake one. But Obasanjo does not respect Gowon. Many of you, perhaps, you will not be able to know why. And the reasons Obasanjo failed to respect Gowon as his own superior, the way Babangida will take orders from Obasanjo, was because of the Dimka coup. The Dimka coup. You want me to tell you the truth? Babangida put his own life at risk because Babangida was the military officer within the Nigerian army that countered the Dimka coup. Dimka coup was planned inside Gowon's sitting room in northwest London. There's a lot that many of you don't know. And this is the only platform that will tell you. I know too much. I'm too much. In fact, I'm too heavy for Olusegun Obasanjo. Who is Olusegun Obasanjo? When my own father was the very first chief town planning officer for the whole Federation of Nigeria, between the years 1956 to 1965. Who? Tani Obasanjo? Tani Obasanjo? Obasanjo has not placed himself at the role of an elder statesman. Obasanjo needed to be disgraced. I don't give a damn about that man, you know. Obasanjo is a ridiculous human being. Very ridiculous. And he doesn't command my respect. In Yoruba land, we usually respect our elders, but I will never, in a million years respect that man called Obasanjo. Obasanjo wèrè àṣírí ó dẹ̀ máa sínwín gbẹ̀yìn ni. Obasanjo's end is not going to end well. Ṣé rí pé Obasanjo ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣìṣe. Ó ti ń ṣìṣe. Ó dẹ̀ máa ṣìṣe, ó máa bó ṣe wà yẹn ó máa ṣìṣe ni. Yes, mo junior, mo kéré. Mo kéré, kíkéré lábẹ́rẹ́ kéré, kì í ṣe mímì fún adìyẹ o. And I'm not scared of anyone. My father fought Gowon. I was telling someone earlier on this afternoon. My father fought Gowon, fought Muritala, fought Obasanjo when he was a military junta, fought Shagari. My father stopped at Shagari's level. Those days, my dad will say to me, my pen is mightier than the sword in my hand. Daily Times, Sketch, Tribune, New Nigeria, they always welcome my dad's article with his positive criticism. From Gowon's days, Gowon awarded civil engineering contract and engineering contract to all his big nyash women. Abi, you think I don't know? My father wrote about it. ZAB wrote about the problems, and the same problems still existing. Let me tell you, my first daughter was born in 1987. Second one was born in 1988 in Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to lie to you, I spoke to IBB last week, and I still thank him. The last time Nigeria enjoyed good healthcare delivery was during Babangida's period. My first daughter was born at Randall Health Center in Surulere. My second daughter was equally born at Randall Health Center. Both prenatal, postnatal for my first daughter and my second daughter. Second one was even born in my absence. That was why he was Mayowa Abidemi. I was not even in Nigeria when my wife delivered my second child. But because we had Professor Olikoye Ransom Kuti as the Minister of Health, Babangida never mismatched anybody. Babangida knew it was Professor Ransom Kuti that will bring his health programs into good use, and then appointed Professor Kuti. LOC hospital. Go to hospitals now. I never paid a dime. I had the opportunity to say, oh, Margaret, go and deliver at a private hospital. But since the healthcare system is there, yeah, last week I spoke to IBB and I thanked him. I thought Nigeria was bad then. I share 1987, 1988. We were enjoying the very best of $10 on the barrel of crude oil. I had no option other than to pray for Babangida and to thank him. My own children, the two of them, they now question me that, mommy, daddy, what went wrong? I said, I cannot explain. So also their mother cannot explain. Olusegun Obasanjo is the problem of Yoruba race. Obasanjo is our problem in Yoruba land. I'm not shy. If you don't like it, if you look, I don't want anybody to like me anyway, because I know I've got too many enemies. Obasanjo, ikú ẹ̀ ò ní dá. And Obasanjo is not a full-fledged Yoruba man. He's not. I know so much about him. I know a lot of his secrets and dealings, even when he was president. Sherry, ǹjẹ́ àárín òun àti Ayọ̀ Fáyòṣe, ǹjẹ́ trailer ò gba àárín wọn kọjá? Trailer crossed their path. Obasanjo rigged the elections in Ekiti State in favor of Ayọ̀ Fáyòṣe. Niyi Adebayo won that election. But because Obasanjo was unable to even win an election in his own ward, Yorubas never voted for Obasanjo because we knew who this man was. Obasanjo came to power with the influence of Ibrahim Babangida. Kí ni nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ṣe fún Babangida? What? Obasanjo messed up IBB, no? Messed up Babangida. So the same way you see, if Babangida is not going to talk, I will do the talking on behalf of Babangida. Yes, IBB probably wants to keep his dignity. Yes. Because IBB is a conservative man and very, very well composed. He won't talk. But very dangerous. If he's not going to talk, some people will do the talking on behalf of Ibrahim Babangida. Unfortunately, if I have to put all the heads of government together, yes, many of you will know I will. And I told him, Munioga, I'm sorry. If I have to put all the previous heads of government in Nigeria that messed up Nigeria. You will go inside it. But if I'm asked to single-handedly pick one out, I will single you out of many of them because you are a visionary leader. All the things we enjoyed. Look, SAP, Structural Adjustment Program. When I asked Babangida about SAP, did you know the reply IBB gave me? Oh, on tape, Mushini. On my dictaphone. IBB said, Frank, I underestimated my people. One of the questions I asked him was, if you were to turn the clock backward, what will you do differently than what you did when you were in power? Straightforward answer. He's a man of the people. Jerry Bugbo, I want IBB. Let me tell you, I have witnessed it. All of them, they will abuse Babangida in public. In secret, they will go back to him to apologize. I witnessed it. I've seen many of those people tomabu publicly, and then they will go back and say they are sorry. Watch Obasanjo. OBJ. The OBJ is Olusegun Obasanjo is the worst thing that ever happened to Yoruba land. Jerry pe ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣiṣẹ́. Obasanjo ti ń ṣiṣẹ́. Kò sí ṣiṣẹ́, kò sí, ó ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ already. Now, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Look at what Emma Woboshema. Look at how he's going to deal with a journalist.
No, Joe.
Look at that. Look at. Look at. Sherry. Joe. You see, journalists in Nigeria, you see them? Often mama were relevant anytime. Emelo letiri IBB in State House. You see?
Rather more personal setting.
Watch this.
And let's bring the conversation to Nigeria. I've looked across the Nigerian press. I've listened to people from the National Assembly, and I've also looked at some records coming out of the courts in your country and in America as well. And there are serious allegations concerning you and your family and corruption and
look at the way foreign journalists were tackling him.
Give a full accounting.
Very, very much so. Very much so. And if you have any evidence, Steve, please show it to me, and I will defend myself anywhere.
Irony.
Because
go and sit down.
It's absolute nonsense. Without due respect, I am the only leader in Nigeria that has been examined and reported upon.
Look at lies, lies upon lies.
Bodies in Nigeria. I am the only one.
When your successor took over, he described corruption in the country as endemic, and he said it was the country's elite that was responsible.
Umaru Yaradua.
One of what?
He's one of Nigeria's elite.
Umaru Yaradua.
As he takes over and looks at what is happening inside government, there is corruption to the very top.
You see?
It doesn't reflect well on you.
He said that, did he mention Obasanjo? Did he mention Obasanjo, Steve?
But you were the president.
I am
you were responsible for the governance of your country.
No, I'm not responsible for the corruption of every Nigerian.
You see that? Look at a whole leader.
Your own successor says endemically.
You see, a Nigerian journalist will not be able to quiz him like this.
Well, I gave my
I'm coming to that.
And you have no way to substantiate it. It's not that this is something where you are taking undue advantage.
No,
I will have even say that.
Let's talk.
I will go beyond here.
Well, let's talk.
You see, don't go beyond it.
And various Halliburton subsidiaries have paid vast amounts of money in fines in the United States because of bribes and corruption
under Obasanjo.
Nigerian officials. And if one takes the testimony,
are those Nigerian officials? Am I one of them?
Well, let's talk about that.
Yes, am I one of them?
Albert Jack Stanley confessed last year in the United States to bribing, and this is according to a U.S. court document. Quote: 3 successive holders of a top-level office in the executive branch of the Nigerian government. He negotiated with these office holders representatives.
Obasanjo, the worst thing that ever happened to Nigeria.
Yes. Now, if one cross-checks that, I'm coming to that. If one cross-checks that with the testimony before a French prosecutor, Jeffrey Tesla, another Halliburton agent involved, I'm sure you know these names, he named you as one of 3 successive Nigerian heads of state who'd been involved in negotiations with the Halliburton subsidiaries, which were later in a US court found to have been guilty of bribes and corruption on a massive scale.
Tesla will never say that. Tesla.
It's in the French record.
You see?
Because by the time when you say somebody is guilty of corruption, there must be the giver, there must be the taker, and there must be the evidence.
Did you have communication with Jeffrey Tesla?
No.
Never.
That's a lie.
Absolutely never. Despite anything he has.
I have a transcript of it.
As you know, he's been arrested. And the US is now seeking his extradition. Are you worried about what he may say in a US court?
I am not worried. He will bring evidence. I'm not worried. I am not worried. I am very, very sure of my position and my stand. All right? I do not say that people in my government were not corrupt. But I am.
Well, let's stop you just there. Are you saying that people in your government were corrupt?
Of course, I will not. Can you say the people in the government of the country are not corrupt?
But I'm talking about senior people. I'm talking about ministers. I'm talking about your closest allies.
Don't forget, Obasanjo was the Minister of Petroleum.
My vice president had something to do with Jefferson, which is part of the case in America. I don't know whether corruption had been proved or not, but he had a question to answer.
Is it not a terrible failing? We'll leave aside, perhaps for the courts to decide whether you personally can be held to account for any of this, but do you accept it was a terrible failing for you as president to see inside your government, at the very top of your government, according to your own successor, that there was
Umaru Yaradua
corruption?
Yes.
I do not accept that. Because
Obasanjo, the biggest problem that ever happened to Nigeria, this man.
Found to be corrupt. The onus lie on the head of that government to bring that man to book. When I was the head of government, there's no case of corruption against any minister, any government official.
The system doesn't work.
No, I don't agree with you.
But you've admitted to me that corruption was prevalent in your country when you were president.
Yes.
And yet not one single official inside your federal government has been convicted of serious
corruption. I do not agree with you. You don't have your right, your facts correct. In my government,
one Stephen Sakor was showing evidence.
In fact, one died in the process. The Inspector General of Police
was charged and convicted.
You see, Tafa Balogun, because Tafa Balogun never danced to his tune. Tafa Balogun jí owó Nigerian Police Force. Kò fún Ọbásanjọ́ ní title tí ó yẹ kí Ọbásanjọ́ gbà. The title that was meant to go to Ọbásanjọ́. What about Lagos Ibadan Expressway? Did you know how many times Obasanjo awarded the revamp of Lagos Ibadan Expressway, to which the contractors, they will give Obasanjo back money to the extent to jẹ́ pé Obasanjo will say talent tó ní kó lọ tún Lagos Ibadan Expressway ṣe. I have all the documents. All the documents are with me. This man is Obasanjo is the worst thing that ever happened to Nigeria. Let's listen.
A minister of education was sacked to court. What more do you want? One of those people who currently is under investigation is your own eldest daughter.
Yes, your own eldest daughter.
Yes, what happened to my eldest daughter?
She is still being investigated by the anti-corruption watchdog inside your own country.
So what? Has he been
Would you
found?
accept responsibility for her?
No, why should I? He's old enough. He's a girl of 42 years old. Will you accept responsibility for your son at the age of 21 for whatever he does? Now, don't ask me that type of question. I found it very insulting, with all due respect.
Yeah.
Now, you won't ask that type of question to a European leader.
I think you can. If a European leader whose daughter was in a European Senate was accused of serious fraud charges, that would not reflect.
That's an allegation. And anything can be alleged. You can be alleged to be a liar. And when it's investigated, if you are not a liar, that is the allegation goes. That's an allegation. And you don't work on allegation.
I said it was an allegation.
Yes,
I accepted the allegation. What I would ask you before we finish is this: Nigeria is one of the in terms of resources, richest countries in the world. I think you're number 7.
You see, one of the richest countries in the world.
Potentially rich country. We are not.
Well, your oil reserves are proven and they are vast, and yet, according to UN figures, something like a third of your population lives in extreme poverty. And that was the case when you left office. Can you explain why that was the case?
I'm coming back to where I started.
We have oil. But compared with the population of Nigeria, of over 150 million, and the oil that we are getting.
But Babangida single-handedly built a new federal capital territory with $10.
We are producing 1 million barrels of oil a day. Saudi Arabia is producing 9 million barrels. Now you cannot compare. So, or UAE or Kuwait. So when you make this comparison, make it in the right context.
But would you accept that Nigeria has not utilized the opportunities and resources that it has?
Yes.
I don't agree with you.
You see?
Nigeria has used the opportunities and resources that it had to the best.
There
have been lapses.
You see?
And you can say the same thing of any country. Now, and the fact that Nigeria is fighting these lapses and is doing something about it, I think one should even say, hooray to Nigeria. There are many countries where these things are covered up. In our own case, we are ready to go out.
Obasanjo, you want money minister of petroleum.
Under my own administration, 2 bodies.
Obasanjo You never appointed Minister of Petroleum. The $1 on each barrel of crude oil that goes to the office of the head of state. Gbogbo yín lẹ gbà o. Ìwọ náà gbà you collected $1 on each barrel of crude oil. In 1976, when Murtala Mohammed was killed by Dimka in a coup orchestrated in General Yakubu Gowon's sitting room in northwest London. When you became head of state, you increased the peg that goes to the office of the president to $2. Obasanjo, you never had Minister of Petroleum. 50 cents goes to the office of the Minister of Petroleum. When Buhari was Minister of Petroleum, that was what he was receiving. You increased the peg of the Minister of Petroleum to $1. Obasanjo, for the 8 years you were controlling the mantle of leadership in Nigeria, you were making $3 on each barrel of crude oil every day. And you made those money for 8 years. Obasanjo, you are the worst of anything that ever happened to Nigeria. I want anybody to please take me up on this, and I want Obasanjo, if this video will get through to him, to come and take me on many of those revelations I'm revealing. Let's carry on.
Unlike any other country that are fighting corruption, 2 bodies, and even here, the Metropolitan Police gave us kudos. So the way we
final
are
thought, because we must end, but your successor, President.
Look at. Ẹwẹ́nu bàbá ṣe rí pé ẹnu bàbá ti wọ́ sẹ́gbẹ́ kan. Ó dàbẹ́ pé girlfriend bàbá ni woman yìí.
Ó kí yín kú jókòó. Ẹ ṣe tẹ wà ń bí. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ nǹkan kan. Ibi tí gómìnà bá wà tàbí president bá wà, kò sí ọba náà. Ó láti dìde fún gómìnà.
Àwọn ọba jẹ ṣẹ́tìrí. Ẹ dìde. Ẹ wòran ẹ wò àwọn ọba. Àwọn náà dìde.
Ẹ jókòó.
Ẹ jókòó. Ah, what a disgrace.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
Ẹwẹ́nu bàbá ṣe rí pé ẹnu yẹn ti yẹ sẹ́gbẹ́ kan.
Nǹkan méjì là ń bọ̀wọ̀ fún.
Ẹ máa gbọ́.
Among others, age, ọjọ́ orí àti ipò.
Bàbá mi ò respect ẹ. Bàbá mi ò respect ẹ pẹ̀lú ọjọ́ orí ẹ màá. Bàbá aranu ni ẹ.
Nígbà tó bá ṣe.
Bàbá òṣì ni ẹ màá.
Tó bá ṣe gómìnà mọ́. Even ìgbà tí mo ṣe president, mo ń dọ̀bálẹ̀ fọba. Ṣùgbọ́n tí n bá wọ yàrá, ọba ó dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún mi. So ẹ jẹ́ kí a gbé àṣà wa ká gbé lárugẹ.
Ẹ̀yin ọba, ẹ̀yin kábíyèsí, ọ̀bì, ṣé pé nínú gbogbo yín tẹ́ jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn, gbogbo ẹ̀yin kábíyèsí tẹ́ jókòó síbẹ̀ yẹn, kò sí àfọ̀ṣẹ kankan ní ẹnu yín tẹ́ lè sàsí Ọbásanjọ́ níbẹ̀ yẹn lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Àbẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ nǹkan tí bàbá Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́ ti tànà, bàbá tó bí ikú bàbá yèyé Lámídì, mọ bó ṣe sọ fún Bọ̀dé Thomas pé kó máa gbó bí ajá ni. Ṣé ẹ̀yin ò dẹ̀ nírú gbogbo àwọn àfọ̀ṣẹ yẹn lẹ́nu torí pé kí ni gbogbo yín pátápátá political ọba òun ni gbogbo yín. Ọba tó bá wọ ìpẹ̀bí tí wọ́n ṣe gbogbo rituals tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fún kó tó di ọba. Kò ní buy to that agenda. Ṣé ẹ lérò pé Ọbásanjọ́ máa wà níwájú ọba of Benin a máa sọ gbogbo sọkúsọ tó ń sọ yẹn? Wọn bí Ọbásanjọ́ rè níwájú throne ọba of Benin, and the Benin throne, even Olú of Warri wọn bí Ọbásanjọ́ rè. Ẹ wò gbogbo yín tẹ́ pera yín ní ọba káàárọ̀ òjíire. Ṣẹ́rí bó ṣe ń yẹ̀yẹ́ yín tó bá yá gbogbo yín local government chairman ó máa ní kẹ́ wá dọ̀bálẹ̀ fóun. Nǹkan tó result sí nìyẹn. Narada Franklin, Julius Amudeli, Adébánjọ Sunday. Ṣẹ́rí èmi ò ever ní respect fún Ọbásanjọ́ náà anyway, because Ọbásanjọ́ is a vindictive womanizer. Ṣẹ́rí nígbà tí mo provoke IBB ní press conference yẹn, Obasanjo then replied the next day. It was all over. Obasanjo called Babangida a fool at 70. I was in my hotel room in Tonga, NuMediaTV, because and that morning, the PA to General Babangida, Captain Jalingo, then called me to say, Oga Frank, you don't see today's paper? I said, no. I said, I'm still in bed because I worked all night. I was composing all night. And then Captain Jalingo then said, you better go and get all the papers. And then I went to the reception of the hotel and I gave money to some of the staffs to get me all the papers. The papers came when IBB was 70. I was with him. And that was the very first time I spent 3 months investigating June 12. And the moment I saw everything, I triggered, because a minimoti owobo enu kiniu timo ko wojade nibe. I dipped this my small hand into Babangida's mouth, only for Babangida to respond to all my questions. So in the meantime, as I saw front headline, I just put up a call through to Kasim, IBB's spokesman, to now say, oh, Kasim, Prince Kasim Afegbua. Only Kasim, it be like say, I don't dying up on your Kasim say, just stay in your hotel, I'm handling everything. And I had to monitor everything because that was when Kasim then described Obasanjo as somebody who is suffering from dementia. I am not going to retrieve my hatred for Olusegun Obasanjo. I hate Olusegun Obasanjo so passionately. I hate that man so passionately. Because Obasanjo kò lè jẹ́ ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá kó má ṣe bó ṣe ń ṣe yẹn. Ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ló ń ṣe bó ṣe ń ṣe yẹn. Today is Monday, the 18th day of the 9th month of September 2023. Share the stream. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọba lọ́ba ṣe rí pé Ọbásanjọ́ ó ti disgrace yín. You are already disgraced. You are no longer obas. Wọ́n ní ẹ dìde kẹ́ jókòó. Ṣé Ọbásanjọ́ lè lọ sí ilẹ̀ Haúsá kó lọ sọ fún Etsunupe ní Bida kó dìde àbí kó wọn bí dá, wọn bí Ọbásanjọ́ rẹ̀, wọn bí dá débẹ̀, àbí ó máa lọ sí palace Sultan of Sokoto, wọn bí dá. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn ọba yẹn tẹ̀rí yẹn, gbogbo wọn àwọn náà sọpọ́tì ààrẹ Bọ́lá Tinubu. So indirectly Ọbásanjọ́ wá disgrace wọn pé ẹ lọ support Bọ́lá Tinubu. I'm waiting for I'm waiting for the way Tinubu is going to respond. But Tinubu agbárí pọ̀, ọpọlọ ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́. Mo wà níbì kan again over this weekend. Ṣé rí gbogbo pé ọwọ́ Tinubu ń gbọ̀n ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀yẹn. It was a campaign strategy. Bí ti ṣe gbọ́. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ̀ tó rí pé kọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ máa gbọ̀n àbí? Ṣé rí pé ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ straight away. Agbárí pọ̀ fún Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. Agbárí pọ̀ fún. Ó ní agbárí ẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni. Àbúrò running mate Obi Ahmed, Dati Ahmed, his junior brother has already been appointed into the vice president crew. Agbárí ṣe rí pé Bọ́lá Tinubu ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lo ọpọlọ. Ìyẹn dẹ̀ ti accept ẹ̀. Ó ti accept ẹ̀. Kí ni nǹkan tó sọ? The nation first. So ìgbà tí Bọ́lá Tinubu ti gbé immediate brother Ahmed, Dati Ahmed tó ti gbé wá. So báwo lẹ wá ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Obi ẹ gbàgbé gbogbo ẹ̀. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn tó ń sọ pé kíníkan Obi this, Obi that. Before the election, I wasn't supporting Bola Tinubu, and I made it known. I'm not for Bola Tinubu, I'm not for Atiku, and I'm not for Peter Obi. No. Because Igbo people, they've never supported Yorubas in any elections. It's the Igbo people, they've always betrayed the Yorubas, starting from their father, Nnamdi Azikiwe. So I never believed in any Peter Obi. And I knew Peter Obi will never get there. Anyway. I knew. Sherry. Gbogbo àwọn ọba tẹrí tó bá Sanjọ́ disgrace yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn ọba tí wọ́n support Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ní 2023 ambition. Àwọn nìyẹn. Ọbásanjọ́, Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ should be arrested. Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́ should be locked up in prison. Ṣé wọn lọ́ọ̀kì former South African president ni pẹ̀lú gbogbo fraud to commit? Ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n já sẹ́wọ̀n. Kí ló wá ń disturb gbogbo yín tẹ́sọ́ pé lè já Ọbásanjọ́ sínú ẹ̀wọ̀n? Ìyá ó ti lọ ṣẹ̀wọ̀n rí. Adàkẹ́ kúkú jẹ́ kó kúkú lọ kú. Let him go and rot in jail. The time currently in London is 23:20. Let's begin to wind down. I started. And I made some of you to see this. Ewo. Obasanjo took over power in 1999. The children that were born 19th day of the 4th month of April, Timofishi example, 1990. When Obasanjo took power, they were only 9 years old. By 19th of the 4th month of 2021, àwọn ọmọ yẹn, wọ́n ti pé 31 years. When you watch that interview of the BBC, Hard Talk, between Stephen Sakor and OBJ, kí ni nǹkan tí Ọbásanjọ́ prepare fún àwọn ọmọ yẹn? They were only 9 years old. Kí ni preparation in terms of education, health, everything? That when those children are 31 years old in 2021, this is how they should run the country. No. Obasanjo jí owó, ó dẹ̀ kó owó jẹ to the extent that Umaru Yar'Adua condemned all the lootings. 16 billion US dollars Obasanjo wasted on electricity, and electricity never happened in Nigeria. And that question IBB said to me when he answered me to say, Frank, I'll be frank with you. If I have the opportunity to make the huge amount of money subsequent administrations made after my administration, IBB said he should have built 4 nuclear power stations. The farthest south, the farthest east, the farthest north, and the farthest southwest, the farthest southeast, the farthest northwest, and the farthest northeast. That 16 billion US dollars will build those nuclear power stations that will generate electricity. Don't forget, 1988, when my second daughter was born, I remembered my wife called me. Ojo naming ceremony second daughter me. NEPA won't put Nigeria into darkness. My daughter was born in September. All of you go back and see in September 1988 as NEPA plunged Nigeria into darkness. Kilele where IBB shade the next day. IBB woke up the next day and then sacked all the officials of NEPA to plunge Nigeria into darkness. Yes. My wife told me. IBB the next day, Toji, Toripoma plunged Nigeria, NEPA plunged Nigeria into darkness. Gbogbo àwọn ọ̀gá pátápátá tó wà ní NEPA, like IBB sack. I'll do the same thing. Let's bring the stream to an end. Let me seize this opportunity to thank each and every one of you who joined us. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to all our channels. It is the only channel that we say it as it is to the powers that be. Enough of these sufferings that African leaders are inflicting on the black people. And I think there's a lot that's going to happen. Obasanjo is the worst thing that ever happened to Nigeria. And I'm not going to retrieve that. I'm not going to withdraw my statement. I don't care what anybody is going to say. The worst of any head of government. Obasanjo, I will repeat it time after time, was the man that orchestrated June 12th annulment. Obasanjo gave IBB the order. It was a military order to which IBB had to follow. I got fed up with even IBB himself. I mean, IBB, you have to speak out. Soros, okay. Don't carry the burdens and the shoulder of what you are not supposed to carry. It is haunting you. It is haunting your children and the generations that are yet unborn coming out of you. Speak out, Soros, okay. Obasanjo is the bane, the problem of Nigeria. And I will never in a million years retrieve everything I've said. Let's bring the stream to an end, and I'll see you at some other point in time. Until that time, look after yourself, and I hope to see you. Like, follow us, and then subscribe to all our channels. Until that time, take good care of yourselves. I wish you love, I wish you happiness, and I wish you God's guidance. God bless you. Night night.